Hey guys! Today we're going to be recapping The Housewives of Potomac Indecent Disclosure. I wanted to like this episode so much, but I felt like it was missing some things. I felt like there were some key things that needed to be included in this episode to make this episode one of the standouts, especially for this franchise, because the previous episodes I've been kind of like, it hasn't been what it's supposed to be. And that's what it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, but I'm waiting for an episode I could just say that I truly just enjoyed. This one, we're getting there, but we're not there yet. Not in compared to Miami for sure. So it's day 3 in Mexico, and we open the scene with Mia and Giselle out by the cabana, by the bar, looking for some drinks. Giselle, she needed some drinks because apparently the food has not been cooperating with her body, not agreeing with her body. They're actually in war with her body. So she's looking for like some soda, some sort of like something that can help her bubble gut. And I'm like, girl, all you need to say, just ask for ginger ale. Ask for some ginger ale soda, and that can at least help a little bit. But the waiter, they offer cocktails and drinks, and they do look behind the bar to see if there's any drinks that can help her stomach. But I felt so bad. Like right now, Giselle's just full of shit, literally and physically. So it's hilarious that we're having that moment with her, and she's actually saying that. So she's at the table with Mia, and they discuss about last night's events. And Giselle was trying to say that everything that Karen is saying about Charisse is of course untrue, and that it actually comes from a place of jealousy. Mia, of course, looked at her like, she's jealous? Like, why would an older woman be jealous of what another woman got going on? And Giselle's like, yeah. Of course, it comes from a place of jealousy. Everything she's saying is not true. What she's trying to make Charisse is all a lie. And that leads her to mention to Mia that Wendy is jealous of Mia. And you see a little twinkle in Mia's eyes. She's like, oh, someone is jealous of me. Like it's a flattering comment. And I'm like, Giselle, don't get this one started. You could see like in Mia's brain, like, oh, that makes sense. That's true. But I'm like, why would Wendy be jealous of Mia? Why? I feel like Wendy's quite, if she has all women have insecurities, but I don't feel like Wendy gives off jealousy of Mia. I would have to see why Giselle feels that, why she makes this statement, but she knows by just making this comment alone, that's gonna get Mia going. And I'm like, Giselle, don't do that. So it then leads to a conversation about Giselle addressing Mia about her relationship with Jacqueline. Because not only does Mia have to work on her relationship with Wendy, she has to work on the relationship with Jacqueline, especially since her and Jacqueline been friends for a long time, since they were kids. And Mia feels like they're at a point of no return. She does not really feel interested in working on these relationships. If anything, she feels kind of like a victim of Jacqueline, because she feels like, oh, Jacqueline keeps doing all the jabs. Like the jabs are coming from her and that Mia is just responding. So you could kind of see that Mia doesn't really understand how bad the situation is, because I feel like they're both at fault. I feel like maybe they had a talk and had an idea what it was gonna be like on TV, how they're gonna act, and it seems like one is maybe following a plan and the other one is going a different direction, and there's some sort of conflict, but something about it doesn't feel natural. Like it feels like one feels like Jacqueline feels like she's been misled and been used for a storyline to help support Mia. And I feel like this is nonsense. This is all garbage. And I'm tired of their issues being the center of every episode. So I wanted to really just move on from this and not have the girls just focus on these little issues as a bigger plot for the whole episode. So the girls, they start talking about Robin and how they want to plan a bachelorette party for Robin. And so the girls are excited. Mia wants strippers for Robin, and Giselle gets excited and happy for that. And Mia asks Giselle, do you think Robin would like strippers? And she doesn't know for sure how Robin would feel about having strippers at her party. But of course they want to have strippers at the party. So Mia is gonna be the one in charge to arrange to have the strippers at the party, as she feels like she has a wealth of knowledge to get the best stripper for the party. So in between this conversation, Giselle, she pulls out bread from her purse, and I'm like, damn, I understand the why she needs a solid. She needs that bread to make that poop not be so liquidy, not so much like diarrhea. I know this is TMI, but I'm like, they could have done that off cameras. They don't have to do that in front of cameras. I feel like we're seeing Giselle not be, so prim and proper. Like I can remember her from season 1 being so proper, so much about etiquette and everything. And now that you see her just pulling bread out her purse from a tin foil to eat to help with the diarrhea, I'm like, okay, now she's like humbling herself. So that was good to see that. We then move on to a scene with Robin, and she's on the phone with her friend / assistant, and they're discussing about Robin's wedding. And now the assistant said that she hasn't found anything, but she did find a planner to help Robin set up the wedding. And of course, Robin is like, okay, that's another piece of variable. Doesn't she know it's just a simple ceremony, no big to do, no nothing? And the assistant says, yes, the planner is aware that it's small, that it's just a ceremony. And she was kind of like, okay. As if like, wow, no cake even, just a ceremony. So I thought that was a funny little moment. And it kind of shows, how small Robin wants to keep the wedding. Like, to clarify, even the assistant to understand, oh, no cake. I'm like, damn, no cake? Like, I know not a big cake, because I know it's not going to be a ceremony with a lot of people. But still, I think they could arrange cake for, her husband, and her 2 kids, I didn't think that it was like that to say no cake, period. I thought that was interesting. And, it gave us insight to where Robin is thinking about how big her wedding's going to be. It's actually going to be quite small, really small. We then move on to a scene with Karen and Ashley, and they're lounging poolside. And, Karen, she brings it up to Ashley, saying that last night she really, really didn't like how Robin called her fake, and that she can't wait for people to know who the real Karen is. And that really bothered Karen. And, Ashley, it seems like Ashley had some inside information. She mentions that, when Robin was at her lowest, Charisse was the person to be supportive and be very protective over Robin. So it seemed like it could have been a possible trigger for Robin to see Karen go after Charisse, to make Charisse seem like she's not loyal, she's not a good friend. Because obviously Robin feels like Charisse is a really good friend because she was there for her. So as Ashley is trying to, make that make sense to Karen and, for us as viewers, Karen, she shuts that down immediately. But, the message was already received. I caught that and I received that, and I can understand Robin's perspective. So now it has me kind of looking at Karen like, that does make sense. So I don't know why she continues to drag this on even into this day. I understand that, being called fake is not something everyone wants to be called, but to make this to a big deal where she's focusing on, oh, this is an attack to Karen's integrity. She's now flipping this to focus on how fake Robin's wedding is and how fake her relationship is with Juan, to the point where she drops new tea. And I'm like, oh no, like, I know we've been waiting for this to be brought up, but to see it all unfold is something else. So Miss Karen makes it clear that Juan actually has a girlfriend. And I'm like, a girlfriend? How can he has a girlfriend? He's with Robin. And then the editors, they do this this great package of Potomac Special Unit with the renderings of what Karen knows as who Juan's girlfriend looks like. And apparently Juan's girlfriend looks like Karen. So Karen would describe Juan's girlfriend as a beautiful, natural, mature woman that looks just like her. And they put a picture of Karen and the image of what Juan's girlfriend possibly looked like. And she's the blonde. And, you know, I'm laughing. Ashley's laughing. We all laughing as viewers, because I'm like, you are not making this about yourself. That is hilarious. But she really is standing by it. And, you know, Karen even goes further to say that Robin knows. Like, she knows this rumor. Like, this is not going to be a shock. So Ashley, she's also, looking at, like, she's like, no. Because when she hears the fact that Karen says that Robin knows about this rumor, Ashley knows how Robin feels when it comes to her man. Like, she is not the one to have a rumor go out around and not address it, or not shut it down, or if people know about it, for her not to clarify it. But Karen, she says that she does want to address that with Robin and let her know that she knows, and she wants to do it at an appropriate time. When she said that, I'm like looking at this TV and think to myself that, Ashley cannot sit on tea long. And Karen, she says no, she wants to have this moment with her respectfully, and that Ashley should respect that, and they end it here, but then they separate to go get ready for the rest of the day. And you see Ashley, she needs to go use the restroom, but she has to tell to the girls what she knows. So she's in the lobby with Candace and Wendy, and Ashley already is telling the tea pretty much. She says that she wants to respect Karen's wishes and not say too much and let Karen be the one to say what's the tea that she's dropping. But she goes ahead and gives clues about which girl it could be about. And of course the girls are curious, so they start guessing who it is. And eventually, by elimination, they know it's about Robin. And, Ashley says, well, that's where it stops there. Like, she's not going to say anymore. She's going to let Karen be the one to really, say what the tea is. So, ironically enough, Robin, she passes by, and the girls are like, even I'm like, is this going to go down here? But of course, we know it's not going to go down there. We all know that they always like to have these big discussions, these big tea droppings over lunch or dinner. And so it's like, we know it's not going to happen in the lobby. So the girls, they get on the bus and they have their girl chat. Everyone's, doing girl chat. It's cute and everything. And they go pretty much like a marketplace to do shopping, to buy like jewelry, clothes, shoes, and hats. So they are around shopping and doing whatnot. And of course, the girls, they separate. They go into their own groups. And Robin and Ashley, they go off together into a store. And that's the moment, of course, Ashley wants to pull Robin to the side. and tell Robin how Karen feels. So she tells Robin how Karen feels upset that she was called fake and that she plans to actually have a one-on-one talk. So Ashley's kind of setting up the two girls to be able to get what they feel off their chest. And I don't know why Ashley has to add that she also has some other things to say and that she can't say because she wants to respect Miss Karen and let her say it to Robin. And of course, Robin wants to know what else she got to say. Like, what's the big deal? And she says it's about Juan. And of course, that makes Robin even more curious about the situation. Ashley, she does have some hesitation to share it and say it to her, but she rationalized it to herself, saying, she's gonna know anyway, so I'm gonna just tell her so she can, be aware of what's gonna be dropped on her, and so it's not just dropped on her like that, something so heavy. So she tells Robin that Karen knows, or she's saying that Juan has a girlfriend out in Georgetown, that they go and walk and hold hands and go on dates. And Robin, she immediately, she calls Juan. Juan picks up, and he's sweet. He answers the phone, asks her how she's doing. And Robin drops all the information on Juan. And Juan, he got so upset. He started cursing out like this is a joke. Robin laughs about this, but you can tell like she wants to know like how Juan is gonna respond to this information. And I'm like, oh my God. And Ashley has to sit there while Juan is on speakerphone and he's upset and he's like, kind of lashing out on Robin to really defend their relationship. And I'm like, oh my God, I am so glad that Juan Dixon is not at this trip right now. Like, no. Luckily, he was in a whole other country and he was so activated. That got Robin activated. And I'm like, damn. And then Robin, she says, oh, she got names. And I'm like, what names you got, Robin? Like, is she has some tea that she's gonna drop, but Robin can sit on some tea and just release it when necessary. So I'm like, damn, this lunch is gonna be hotter than Giselle's bubble gut right now. Like, this lunch is about to be lit. So I'm like, damn, Ashley, you really got this girl ready to go. So the girls, they get to their table at lunch. And of course, Karen, Wendy, and Ashley, they have to go off to use the restroom. And Robin is, she's hyped. She's getting ready. She's like, she can't wait for this lunch to get started. So automatically, the other girls are like, what the hell is up with Robin? Why is she so excited? And Charisse, she's such a friend. She's like, if you're excited, I'm excited. And so the other girls, they're confused. And Candace is so smart. Candace, she puts one and one together. Candace mentions that, Ashley came up to her earlier that day and said that Karen was upset about last night and that Karen had dropped her a bomb, but she couldn't say exactly what it was. And then in perfect timing, Karen gets back to the table with the rest of the girls. And Robin said that she always felt that Karen was fake and that it shouldn't have been a shock to her. So Karen, she sticks up for herself. She says she could understand Robin sticking up for her friend, but she doesn't like that she's attacking her integrity. And she says that, she actually, Robin is the one who's fake. And in addition to that this wedding is fake. So she mentions that she knows that Robin knows about the blonde woman from Georgetown. So Giselle, of course, she says she hasn't heard that. Like, where you get that from? Who said that? But of course, and it's funny that Wendy and Candace, they go to back up saying that they have heard of this. So this gets Robin activated. She feels like she got nothing to prove to these girls, and that Karen should stop asking her when she's gonna get married and if the relationship is real or not. And then she turns to around to say that she needs to stop saying that her marriage is great, because she was out and spotted, and there's photo proof of her out on a date with another man, and they say that this other man is Mr. Blue Eyes. So she pulls out her phone and she's showing everyone at the table the picture of Karen and the man. And everyone is like, yeah, that looks like her, that looks like her, that looks like her. And she shows this to everyone but Karen. And I felt like we as viewers were excluded too, because I would have liked to see the photo, to see for myself, to say if that's Karen Booty or not. So I felt like that was missing from this episode, because, they were pretty good with getting all the, the evidence and having it, visible for the viewers to see. I felt like I was left out of this, and I was a little bit upset about that. I said, why am I left out? And, Karen, she takes a shot back. She's like, you know why Robin doesn't like me? And apparently, it's because of what happened in a past reunion, where they asked Robin if she can pick who would be the third in a threesome with Juan Dixon, and she says no. And then it turns out, like, after filming, they had a dinner, and Juan came up to Karen and said that he would want her as a part of the threesome, and then he comes up to her and like hugs her so tightly that her breasts, her everything was like too much touching. And so in that moment, we learn that the husband that was touching Karen inappropriately was actually Juan. And this has, Robin upset even more. She's like, Juan's gonna curse you out. And, Karen's response is like, I was protecting Juan. I can understand that I was protecting Juan. And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. Then from this argument, it segues over to Jacqueline and Mia. And Giselle is the one to really kind of switch focus on this. She's like, Mia, you didn't even want to sit next to Jacqueline. You guys are on a trip together. Y'all friends. What's going on? And, Jacqueline, she gave a very mature response. She says, actually, that this is going to be a conversation between her and Mia alone. Not with you guys as an audience, but a private conversation. And then Mia, she says something slick, like, she said something slick by saying, oh, then stop talking about it then. Like, something rude. Like, it was so rude. And I'm like, dang. Your friend is sensitive, and you want to kind of put her down in front of this group of women, and also to the world, because they're filming. So you see Jacqueline bawling, and then she leaves from the table and says that she refused to be by Mia. And I'm like looking at Mia like, Mia, don't you want this friendship? Like, that's too much. She says that Jacqueline is like this in her other friend groups, and they're all tired of her. But then if you are tired of her, or if you had issues with her in previous friend groups, why would you bring her into this friend group? Like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense at all. So I didn't like again, that we're talking about Jacqueline and Mia not getting along. And I feel like the whole group is tired of them too fighting. And so after Jacqueline leaves the table, Mia then looks over at Wendy and says that she actually wants to make up with Wendy. And I'm like, last time, earlier in that day, she was saying that Wendy has some insecurities or some issues, some jealousy towards Mia. So I wonder, like, how is this makeup is gonna happen? Is it gonna be smooth? Is it gonna be easy? I want the girls to get along because then they can all have a good time, because they look like they can have a good time together. But I was like questioning whether or not how this is gonna happen. Then later that night, Wendy goes up to Mia's room, and honestly, after all these, those rumors that come up about Mia and how she is with other men and other women, I'm surprised Wendy went up by herself without a witness. Because I feel like it can be a little bit dangerous, because if this girl does not like you, she can maybe make up a lie on you saying what happened, didn't happen, or recall events differently. So, Wendy, she was a nice girl. She had good intentions. She went up. I mean, the apology that Mia gave at the lunch was actually quite nice. She complimented her beauty. She complimented her husband. She complimented her kids. So, of course, someone who's doing all that, you're thinking they're not gonna want to like hurt you anymore. They want to be your friend, So, of course, later that night, Wendy, she goes up to Mia's hotel room, and she's complimentary towards her, saying, that they have some similarities as much as they are shocked to admit. And they sat and they talked, and they seem like they're at a good place. So I'm wondering how their relationship is gonna move and develop more in the coming episodes. But they had like a dinner, but it wasn't filmed too much. We didn't get much out of the final scenes of the episode, and I hated that. It seems like they had so much fun when the cameras are down, and like, no, have this fun when the cameras are up. But of course, the previews to the next episode is so good, so juicy. Apparently, the girls are just loving each other so much. They're loving each other, loving on each other. So I wonder what's gonna come out from this situation in the next episode. So I would describe this episode, I don't know, a little bit higher than a 7, but I don't know if I can rate it an 8. I feel like there was like some things that could have been included. Like, I would love to have seen who's this Blue Eyes. Like, they should have showed us. Like, I felt like Robin left us out of it. I'm not Karen. I didn't do you dirty like that. But I'm excited to see what the next episode entails, and I wonder what you guys are feeling. So if you like this episode of me recapping the Housewives of Potomac, please like and share with your friends. It is much appreciated. Thank you for following this channel as well, and I'll be here to recap future episodes of the Housewives of Potomac. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.